My mother grew up as an only child, and I think she always just wanted a family so badly that the family was number one. And I can remember as a little girl her constantly sewing me dresses or sewing Barbie clothes for me or making the chocolate chip cookies or, always some kind of handicraft or something, to where I always thought of my mother that she had probably the most pure type of love that anybody I've ever recognized. And it was just so giving out to other people. Things began to change with my mom's health. She began to lose things, or she'd call me and say she couldn't find her car keys. I help her with her finances, but we noticed she wasn't paying her bills. In addition, when a phone solicitor would call, she would give her credit card number out and not remember subscribing to this or that she was getting these shipments that we'd have to call and try to get them canceled. From there, it kind of escalated to one night, about 8 o'clock, I get a call from the Sun City Posse, and my mother had gone to Walmart. Normally she would go during the day, so I was kind of attributing this to, okay, it's nighttime, streets look different. So she parked in a gas station parking lot and just sat there for a while, and the clerk came out eventually to see if she was okay, and she said no, she couldn't remember how to get home. So he called the posse. Posse called me, and I went over and picked her up. So I wasn't sure if that was kind of a one-off thing, just because it does look different at night, the roads. But I knew she was struggling a little bit. A few months later, I get another call from the posse. So I go and pick her up, and as I'm driving her back to her house, she says, I don't know why I couldn't find my way home. I know I live in Idaho, so I just thought I would sit there till morning and then just drive to Idaho, which she hasn't lived in Idaho for 35 years. So that really caused a concern for me, because I thought I don't ever want to find out she's a silver alert, because she's just taken off to try to find where she grew up, essentially. I found Sun Health Memory Care Navigator program through a client that I was working with. He had mentioned his wife having Alzheimer's, and has the full care of her. And I brought up about the changes and moving my mother in with us, and he just lit up and he said, "Are you aware of this Memory Care Navigator?" And he just spoke so highly of it. So I went online, I started reading about Sun Health, and I just felt like it was such a blessing to me, streamlined where I could find information, because it's all emotional and overwhelming, to try to figure out, what do I do next? How do I do this without burning myself out? How do I best serve my mother? I just realized that was such a perfect fit for what my needs were. And I felt the confidence also, because I am aware of Sun Health. And so I had called and asked if I could get an appointment to have someone meet with me to see what we could learn. When Jane met with us, she kind of assessed the living conditions, asked a few questions, very much built a comfortable setting for my mother. And Jane was so in tune with seeing what possibly we would need, from 60 minutes a day for different right and left brain activities, to exercising 3 times a week, to telling me about the Peoria Police Department lock boxes that can be on the door. It was just such a wealth of resources, some of which I wasn't even aware of or hadn't thought through. It felt like such a safety net that I had. I wasn't all alone in this. But it has given me the security of knowing, first of all, when things begin to change more rapidly with my mother, I know somebody to call and somewhere to get help. When I met with Jane, one of the questions that I was asking her, because I was very curious how this Sun Health Memory Care Navigator functions, because I was in awe of all the resources that were there, and it was at no charge. And she explained to me that it was through donations. And to me, that was a humbling feeling, that I thought of the goodness of people to help and support the community with things, because there's a lot of Alzheimer's and need out there, and it is difficult. It's difficult on a person with Alzheimer's, and very difficult on people that are trying to do their best to care for their loved one.
The Memory Care Navigator program is made possible by Sun Health Foundation donors. To learn more about Memory Care Navigator, call 623-832-9300 or visit sunhealth.org/memorycare.